What's up guys, Draco here. I'm running out of ideas for an intro, but I'm not running out of red pandas. Yeah, because this is actually a really old toy. I don't know when I got it. Probably... does it have a date on it or anything? Nope. Well, I'd guess like 10ish years ago, maybe. Let's put it here. Anyway, I'm here to talk about stones and rocks, and I don't know whether I would title this rock or stone, but they're basically the same thing. So I replayed Undertale fairly recently, and I love the part where Papyrus is like, Sans, what is that? And he's like, I think that's a rock. Wait, no, it might have been Sans, oh my gosh, is that a human? It's like, no, that dude, that's a rock. It's like, oh, what's that behind the rock? It's like, is that a human? Yes. Bonk. Can't see my head though. Yeah, no, I'll just put it on the other shoulder maybe. If it falls off again, I'm just gonna leave it out of camera. So yeah, I also like in the genocide route where it's like, if it's not a rock, it must be a human. Because according to that logic, everything's either a rock or a human. So now the question raises, what's more rock-like and what's more human-like? Because like, an animal's probably more human-like than a rock. But a book, is that more... I'd say a book's probably more like rock-like than a human. So I'm like, what's something that's like, I give up on this. What's something that's right in the middle and it's like, it's just as much rock as it is human? That's the question I want to raise. I think maybe tree, because it's like, it's living, so that's kind of like a human, but it doesn't move, so it's more like a rock. And then like, you know, I think trees are pretty rock-like, but also pretty human-like, on the scale of like everything ever. Because like most things, it's like, if it's living, it's probably going to be more like a human. If it's not living, it tends to be more like a rock. There are obviously exceptions. Mannequin's probably more human than rock. Yeah. I don't know, maybe clothes? Clothes might be more like human than rock. I think I think a t-shirt is more human than it is rock. But maybe that's just because like they're associated with humans. I don't know if the t-shirt itself is innately human more than being innately rock. But I'd say t-shirts are probably more human because it's like, it's fluid, it can like change shape. Like I can do this with this. I can't do that with a rock. A rock just goes blub. So yeah, I guess with that, water would also be more human than rock because it's like fluid. So I guess just any like firm solid thing is more rock. But then that goes back to the tree. It's firm and solid, but it's still living. So it's like, is it more rock or is it more human? Like, I think tree's a really good answer for what's in the very middle of being just as human as it is rock. But tell me anyone who can think of a better answer, because I don't know. But anyway, because I haven't thought about this that deeply, by the way. What else am I even say about stones? I mean, anyone just want to say that. Oh yeah, myth of Sisyphus. I want to just say, like, okay, I'm going to assume everyone knows it, but I'm going to briefly explain the myth of Sisyphus. Also, by the way, I'm not talking about the book by Camus, I'm talking about the actual myth about Sisyphus, because I haven't read the book, I don't speak French. I'm sure there are English translations, but I've not read English translations either. Basically, Sisyphus cheats death, gods get angry, so they send him to Field of Punishment, which is probably Tartarus, although some interpretations separate it for Tartarus, but basically none of them. No good ones, at least. So he gets sent to Tartarus, and he's like, hey, you have to roll this boulder uphill, and every time you get near the top, it'll like go like blur and roll back down. And I'm like, okay, but can't you just like there's no punishment for him stopping? Now you might be thinking, okay, but it's a myth, maybe he's divinely inspired to keep doing it. But here's the thing, in Ovid's Metamorphoses, book, I want to say 10, but I have no idea if that's correct. The one where Orpheus goes to the underworld, there's a part where Orpheus is playing music and a bunch of underworld punishments stop. There's the hell is his name? Ixion with the fiery wheel, and the wheel stops spinning. There's Tantalus. He stops trying to get, like, the water and stuff. Although it doesn't say that he stops being thirsty, he just stops going for the water, so his punishment isn't necessarily over. He's just ignoring his punishment to listen to the music. Whereas the others are briefly paused. There's... It's not Prometheus. The guy who gets the same punishment as Prometheus. Well, he gets his liver eaten out by vultures. What is it? What the hell is his name? Titius. And then there's Sisyphus, who just sits on his rock. But here's the thing, the other three, Tantalus, Titius, and Ixion, they all, like, their punishments aren't, like, stuff that they have to do. Like, Tantalus is always thirsty and hungry, but, like, so that's just, like, a state of being. For Titius, I've pronounced it differently multiple times, so I don't actually know how to pronounce it. He's just in a state of having his liver eaten out by a vulture. Also, quick challenge, did you know that the liver can actually regrow? I think that's true. One of the organs can definitely regrow. I'm not certain it's the liver, but I'm pretty sure it's the liver. And I think that's awesome. The thing is, I don't know, did the Greeks know that? Because I'd assume not, but I assume that's where the myth came from. The fact that the liver can regrow, so they're like, oh yeah, they ate the liver, and then it came back. But maybe they just thought that was a divine thing, it's coincidence. Who knows, but it's pretty cool. So if you're ever told to lose half your organ, probably choose the kidney, because you can just straight up live with half it. But if you have to choose another organ to lose half of, the appendix, because that's what... an organ that you don't want to lose, but you have to lose half of it, choose the liver. Anyway, back to Sisyphus. Like, he can just stop. His is the only one where it's not, like, something... like a state of being. He is straight up just rolling a boulder trying to get to the top. And just can't do it. But I guess he has nothing better to do, so it could just be... That's why there's the absurdism thing of, like, one must imagine Sisyphus happy, because, like, he has a goal, he wants to roll it to the top, and sure, he won't do it, but he's happy trying. Like, but the thing is, I don't know. But yeah, the fact that he can just stop, but it's also like, since other punishments stopped, it's like, well, is this a one-time thing, or can he just straight up stop whenever he wants? He just doesn't have a reason to stop, usually. I don't know. I'm also not that bothered, it's Greek myth. Like, you can't be like, oh, this is exactly what happens when this happens. Like, no one knows. Yeah, what organ would I most want to lose that I still wouldn't want to lose? I'm going back to the liver thing. Like, if I had to lose the whole thing. Obviously not, like, I'm not counting appendix, because that's the only, like, bad one. Maybe, like... I don't know enough about liver, I don't know enough about organs, so I don't know what any of them do. So I can't really comment on that. But anyway, so yeah, I hope this episode rocks. Is there anything else to say about rock? To be fair, this was more rock related than a lot of other ones I've said. Ooh, well, I think red panda. A red panda is obviously more human. What about a red panda plushie? It can move. I can move its arms, but it's also like it's quite solid. Doesn't have feelings like human. Which is it more human or rock? I'm gonna say it's more human than rock. Although it also has like beads in it, and I'd say beads are more. So it's a more human thing that contains more rock things. Well, organs more rock than human? No, because they do a lot. Maybe the like who knows? I'm trying to think if there's any part of a human that's more rock than human. Or are all parts of human more human than rock? Maybe fingernail. I think a fingernail is more rock than human. But anyway, this was weird. But actually more on topic with rock than most of the other ones are on topic with their things. So I take that as a win. Anyway, thanks for watching. I like red pandas. My favourite animal is snake though. But like red pandas are pretty up there. Anyway, bye!